What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I know my background is a little different today. It's usually a color, but today I am in my study and I took a break from studying, and so now I'm just gonna try to answer this question of the week really quickly because I haven't done one in forever. So welcome back to school for everybody that is, you know, going back to campus or starting school this semester. You know, congratulations, because school isn't for everybody. Everyone doesn't make it to school. Everyone doesn't, you know, get to succeed in school. So you're doing something really good and really positive for your future. So congratulations. So the question of this week is going to pretty much be about what you should expect or how active you should kind of be. It's going to be more of a, just not really a question, just kind of just a simple discussion. The first thing that I want to say is you're gonna see a lot of people out, and they're gonna be hosting events, hosting table sessions, kind of just like meet the Greeks type of events. So if you're not familiar with Greek life like at all, you're gonna want to make sure that you are giving yourself the opportunity to really kind of get to know the people that you're gonna be surrounding yourself with. If you don't know anything about the different organizations, maybe go out to the Meet the Greeks events. A lot of times they do them to where it's every group at one time. It's not necessarily just one informational session. You'll be able to kind of meet with members of, you know, if you're a guy, you'll meet with the alphas, you'll be able to see the kappas there, you'll be able to see the omegas, the iotas, the sigmas, you'll be able to see everybody. So if you're girls, they'll have the same thing usually. I know my school just started to do this, or not my school, but the school that I used to work at just started to do this last year, and it was really beneficial because it allowed people to get a more in-depth answer to questions that they may have without necessarily having to reach out to that person in that organization, you know, on your own, and maybe being taken the wrong way. And you're still able to be kind of anonymous and let people know that you're interested without necessarily saying, oh, I want to be a member of this organization. So definitely take advantage of those opportunities that you do have. See if there's anything on campus that you can kind of attend, just to kind of get a better idea of what you're going to be joining, because you want to make sure that not only does the organization that you're joining represent you well, you want to also make sure that the chapter that you're joining is representing you well, because you'll always be associated with the chapter that you cross in, like no matter what. So if your chapter is not necessarily known for the best things, that stigma is going to follow you, which is kind of unfortunate because a lot of times things happen and it's kind of out of our control. But you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best possible, you know, situation, period. So you're wanting to make sure that you do have some type of knowledge of what you're getting yourself into beforehand. I will also say that you kind of want to be careful with what you're doing and how you're doing it. You don't want to bring too much attention to yourself too soon. You don't want to bring the wrong type of attention to yourself. So if you're doing something in a positive light, like if you're kind of just staying low-key, that was my thing. When I was interested, I just kind of stayed low-key. I observed from afar, and then once I was actually ready to show my interest, I started to do a little more, if that makes sense. And it kind of made it easier for me because I wasn't necessarily like a target or anything. My interest was known to few people, so I mean it was good in my opinion, and I was able to still show my interest, but I didn't have like the whole school or student body knowing exactly what organization I was interested in, you know. What else do I have to say? You don't want to do too much, and by do too much I mean you don't want to like follow members of the organization that you're interested in. So for example, whenever I first crossed, I was working as a work study student in the Office of Admissions at the school that I crossed at. At first it was like, okay, there were some interests. People would send inquiries to me, and it was like, all right, I get it, because I was also the vice president. I don't want to talk about that right now, but it's a long story. I was also the vice president once I crossed of my organization. So it was just like there was a lot of responsibility that came along with that. So I had people within the school, you know, forwarding inquiries to me, which they should have known better because, yeah, no. because unlike other organizations, we don't necessarily recruit. You kind of show your interest and you come to us. We don't really, you know, search for members. But anyway, to make a long story short, there were girls that were, you know, kind of stalk. To put it lightly, they were low-key kind of stalking, and that's something that you don't want to do. I mean, they were at my job whenever I was, you know, on days that I wasn't even scheduled to come in. They were waiting for me, and it's just like, why are you doing that? They would be calling up there trying to see if I was in. They would be emailing not only me, but they'll send emails to other people that worked in the school asking them to forward the information to me if they see me. Like, it was just getting too out of hand, and it was just like, it was very overwhelming. But if nothing else, that made me know that this is somebody that I do not want to be around me, because at that point I kind of felt like their intentions were not genuine and they weren't in it for the right reasons. And so because of that, I mean, at the end of the day, members do have a say in who they want to join, and you just kind of got to be careful of what you're doing, how you're representing yourself, and just making sure that you are putting your best foot forward and you're making it to where it's an easy choice to pick you, instead of you know, I would rather you not pick this person because I don't want to have to deal with this person for the rest of XYZ ABC 1 2 3 amount of years, you know. So if you get nothing else from this video, just kind of know that the whole back to school time frame is very intimidating for everyone. It won't just be for you, but you want to make sure that if you're attending events, you're going to be making sure that you're putting your best foot forward. Don't let anybody have the opportunity to tell you anything about yourself. Like, make sure you're on your A game. Make sure you're dressed well. Make sure you're presenting yourself well. Make sure you're carrying yourself well. Make sure you're not doing anything that'll have us looking at you like, or not us, because I'm not going to be choosing anybody, but make sure that you're doing things that won't have anybody looking at you like, I would rather not have this person on this roster. I would rather not have this person affiliated with my organization. If they do get affiliation with my organization, I would rather them go find it elsewhere. So I hope that answers any questions that you may have regarding this whole back to school craze. If you have any further questions, always, you know, as always, feel free to contact me and I'll get to you as soon as possible. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.